Hey everybody, my name is Elizabeth Caldwell. I'm the news director at Public Radio Tulsa. This is our noon newscast or our live at lunch. I have a cup of water here. Hopefully you have something too, maybe something a little bit more interesting. Keep your strength up. But I want to take you guys through some news that we've been interested in lately at Public Radio Tulsa. Let's go to our website. This is a story that we published yesterday. I want to show you the headline. So about 200 people showed up at the Federal Building on Boulder Avenue downtown in Tulsa yesterday on a Thursday evening to protest President Donald Trump. Of course, you can see some of them here in this picture. This woman is holding a sign that says no one is illegal on stolen land. But why were they out there? Why were they out in the street protesting, chanting, and singing songs? Well, one 24-year-old that I spoke to said he had a friend who was deported recently. He said this friend was working as a painter, was working really hard, trying to fulfill the American dream, but he was deported because of the way he looks.
I've had people deported that I knew for no good reason other than they fit a description. You know, they look like something that someone in power has in their head. Who they think doesn't belong here for no other reason than they're brown, really.
So that was 24-year-old Noe Aguilar. Other people who I spoke to said they were concerned about the $2 billion cuts to federal research. They said they're worried about their children growing up in a world where the United States has a different role.
You know, the whole world is just so disappointed and hates us, basically, and he's caused all this. I don't think that he realizes, because he's so narcissistic and he cares so much about himself, he doesn't understand the effects that this is going to have later on.
So that was 38-year-old Megan Flood being a little hyperbolic there. Obviously, global relationships with the United States are complicated, but there are a number of countries that have issued travel warnings for the United States since President Donald Trump took office in January. And this morning when I was getting ready for this live stream, I found a few stories that back that up. This one, Europeans canceling trips, that was published April 30th. Australians canceling trips April 28th. And Mexico has issued a travel warning for the United States due to measles, everyone's favorite topic. So I thought we could switch over to a news story. What is going on with measles in Oklahoma? So just this morning, the State Department of Health said there are still 15 cases in Oklahoma, 12 confirmed, and most of them occurred in people who are not vaccinated. So one vaccinated person did get the measles, but health officials still say you are protected for life by the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. So we'll be keeping our eye on the measles, obviously. So what else is new? Well, the mayor, Tulsa's mayor, is talking about the budget. Let's check out our story on Public Radio Tulsa. We have 5 takeaways from the mayor's budget. And this story is by Max Bryan. And one thing he notes is that the budget this year is about 8% larger than it was last year under Mayor G.T. Bynum. So just an interesting anecdote here. I attended a birthday celebration for one of our fellow nonprofit news outlets, The Frontier, and Mayor Nichols was there, and he described when he came into office expecting a budget surplus. He said that he was in fact promised a budget surplus, but then he came to find out that the city was on track to spend $15 million more than it was bringing in. So if you're interested in the budget and you want to learn more about it, go to our website, publicradiotulsa.org. Just 5 quick takeaways to keep yourself informed. Okay, so what is coming up next for Public Radio Tulsa? What can you expect to see? Well, going back to where we began with protests, there is a protest this weekend planned for Woodward Park. This is being supported by Indivisible Tulsa County. This sounds pretty intense. It's being stylized as a die-in. Protesters are going to carry headstones, and they say that they are dramatizing the effects of Donald Trump's cuts to things like healthcare research and other such cuts. So we'll have more on that for you after it happens. But thank you so much. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this, let us know. Leave a comment, give us a like, and please check us out at publicradiotulsa.org.